Welcome in everybody to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia with me every day is the Welsh. And it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks here on our Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasypros. Or if you're watching on demand, our YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros MLB. Welsh, it's another fun day of baseball ahead of us. Yesterday was an amazing show. If you missed yesterday, go back and watch it. A lot of great conversations, a lot of big discussions, a lot of prospect stuff. Today, we got lots to throw at you, some injuries, of course, because it's Major League Baseball. And Welsh, Ohtani hit his 17th homer, Mookie Betts hit 2, but it wasn't enough to beat your Diamondbacks. You got to be feeling pretty good about yesterday's game.
The Dodgers getting swept by the Angels. Love it. And then the Diamondbacks pulling down wins, though that bullpen is a disaster. But we did get good reports that Justin Martinez, who threw out here on Saturday, might just be coming back up here very shortly and not even hitting any more rehab stints, or maybe there's one more at AAA, but looks like he's going to be back sometime very early this week and be back to closing games, hopefully against the Dodgers. I love it. Yeah. And that Ohtani bet, by the way, is looking pretty good on Betting Pros that I gave you a couple weeks ago. Ohtani to lead the league in homers, 8-1 at the time. That is obviously, that's nixed, but that is playing out very, very well.
Yeah. It's almost as if like, maybe the starting pitching problems are catching up to the Los Angeles Dodgers a little bit, maybe. Maybe you can't win 110 games with Landon Knack and Tony Gonsolin and all those guys as your starting pitchers, with Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell and all those guys healthy. Maybe, just maybe. So, look, if you're the Dodgers, you're just trying to get to September and October. Like, that's it. Just get healthy. You're going to be in the playoffs most likely, although it is a tough division, man. We were just talking about that before the show.
What do you think is going to go down? What do you think the narrative's going to be? Because I think it's post All-Star break when they said they're going to let Ohtani start pitching again. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's going to be this narrative of Ohtani is, potentially more injury prone? Do you think the pitching is going to take away from the hitting, or do you think it's going to be where you said they just got to get to September? Maybe they just got to get to the All-Star break where maybe Glasnow's back, Ohtani's in the rotation, and they're just full throttle.
I think if they're concerned or they're thinking that Ohtani is the guy that's going to get them over the hump in the playoffs as the pitcher, then they failed. That's what I think.
He's a pretty good pitcher.
He's a great pitcher, but I think to put that on him this year in season in such a weird way is too much. I think you're probably better off with him. Look, I think that's also something where how much can he pitch? How deep can he pitch into games? And it's also the stress of those innings. Those are playoff innings you're talking about, right? By the time you get there, what are those going to look like? Those are laborious, a little bit different than pitching. It's a mid-August day and you're pitching against the Cincinnati Reds. A little different when you're pitching against the Philadelphia Phillies in the playoffs or the Padres or the Mets. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle all of this. It's uncharted waters. We talked about that quite a bit. And I think they just desperately need Glasnow and Snell to join Yamamoto in that rotation. And if they don't get at least one of those two, I think that's a problem. I think it's problematic. And then you're putting a lot on Ohtani's shoulders. But hey, he seems to have broad shoulders for all these moments anyway. Also broad-shouldered, with a very tiny ERA, Chris Bubic blanked the Giants. 7 innings, 5 strikeouts. That ERA is at 1.47. Now, Welsh, I don't think he's going to pitch to a 1.47 ERA, but you got to just be astounded with how good the Bubula has been this year. I mean, on a team that has no margin for error in terms of their offense that has been really underperforming this season, Bubic has been a revelation, especially with Reagan's being out. Lugo's out again, and now it's basically Bubic is carrying this rotation.
He's been the unsung hero. I mean, and it's funny. They're like, he can't do ... and it's like almost June, and we're like, he can't keep getting away with this. But dude, really interesting when you look at this last start. When you're looking at the I guess it's 5-pitch mix, it's like the prototypical of what you would want from a pitcher. So he threw fastball 36% of the time. It was a fine pitch. It got a lot of swings, didn't get a lot of whiffs, but it was in the zone. But it set up. He had a 55% whiff rate on his changeup, 57% on his sweeper, and 50% on his slider. And that equated to over 50% of his usage. He was able to throw for strikes. He was able to get whiffs on. He was running really good CSW percentages. His sweeper has been elite. And even though that fastball is not a big monster, he's been commanding it in a way that sets up these other pitches that is getting whiffs like crazy. He's hitting 94. He's, sitting around 92, 93. We said it pretty much after the very first start. I think it was like one of the first starts we saw of the season. I remember watching him and I was like, which looks great. He looks locked in the
Well, we were
command.
kind of in on him right before the season. I think we liked him as like a sleeper kind of guy, but I don't think any of us thought he could do this.
I don't think I wasn't into Bubic preseason, but it was the very first start of the season where it was like, wow, this looks like a different version, because those secondaries were just moving all through the zone, getting whiffs, and the fastball was setting it up, and that has not stopped. And that is why we've both been pretty staunch about Bubic this entire, in season.
Look at this question from A. Garza here. Bubic or Sandy rest of season? I made that trade earlier and deeply regret it now. I understand why you made that trade. I mean, I'm hoping Sandy turns it around, but it's tough now to say Sandy is the better part of that deal, don't you think?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be lame here. If I get all the months into the season, I'm super stubborn and refuse to believe like that Sandy is this bad. I really think it's gonna bounce back. And there's this interesting dynamic of that, of like, you have 7 weeks of the incredible Chris Bubic. And if you believe he's going to have some regression, all of that goodness is behind us. You think Sandy's going to bounce back? Like, I think it's fair to say Sandy's best months and starts are in front of him for this season. I just think he's too talented of a pitcher. I would say Sandy Alcantara, but I don't know how you like cut him for Bubic for Sandy. I don't think you can make that move right now, and you can't do 1-for-1 trades. You've got to get value, but I really do think like I'm going to be stubborn, stupid, and say that like Sandy is going to bounce back on the latter half of the season. It's a super good
expected ERA for Bubic is 3.06, so it's not awful. I don't know what Sandy's is. I can take a look at that real quick.
Sandy's 7.99 with an expected 5.33 right now. It's atrocious.
It's not good. It's not good.
No.
Do you give any credence to? I know Agustin Ramirez has come up and been the catcher. Do you think any of that has anything to do with some of these issues that Sandy's been going through? I mean, I haven't followed it that closely of who's catching him every single day that he's out there. But, rookie catchers sometimes trying to learn pitch mix. I can't imagine maybe he's the one calling the games or somebody else is calling the games, right? Do you really let rookie catchers come up and do that nowadays in Major League Baseball? It feels like a no.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think a lot of pitchers will do this as well. But also, I mean, like, okay, what is he? Maybe the last 3 starts? Last 3 starts have been bad, but unfortunately for Sandy, the first 2 starts of the season were where it was really good, and in between that, 5 of his last 6 have just been kind of And I'm not sure that it's Augustin that's part of the problem. It's Sandy. I mean, it's Sandy. I mean, Sandy's also he's been hitting close to 100, but the changeup has been less effective, and that's been one of the biggest problems. I mean, it's a 216 average. It was actually a better average against so far this year, but it hasn't been quite getting the whiffs, and really the other pitches around it haven't been setting it up as well. So I don't know. I've seen him good early in games, Sandy, and then he just falls apart. So hopefully he gets back bouncing with it, and I think Sandy's going to bounce back into the season. Oh no, Joe was just back. Joe was just back. There was a frozen Joe in that beautiful Patriots jacket there. And he did say frozen. All right. Well, I think Sandy is going to bounce back. I almost would like to do the poll of that, by the way. We have the Joes in the chat of Sandy versus Bubic rest of season. Where would people go with it? Even if not just a poll on the YouTube side or here, comment below. Let us know Sandy or Bubic rest of season from this moment on. You don't get any of the prior stats of Bubic or Sandy from this moment on. What side are you picking? Hey-yo! You know what I'm saying, Joe? Joe's not gone, so it's not really Puppet Joe. There's a little bit of a Puppet Joe. It says Joe's back, or I will move us on. 3, 2. It's keep trying to bring him on, and it's not working. All right, well, I'm going to move on until Joe gets... Oh, there you go. Move it on, Joe.
Yeah, again, I don't know. You know what the most annoying thing is? We did all this stuff so I could move to Firefox, so StreamYard would work better for us. And you know what the message just popped up? You should try using Google Chrome. And that was the one that was giving us all the other problems before. So you know what? They all suck. Everything sucks. Robbie Ray doesn't suck, though. 7 innings, no runs for him, 7 strikeouts. Robbie Ray had a little rough patch there, and I know a lot of us were starting to get a little worried about him, but he has really picked things up in the last few starts. 2.67 ERA, on the year now, 62 strikeouts, 27 walks. Look, the walks are always going to be a little bit higher with him, over 57 innings. You want the strikeout, so that was great. Chandler Simpson hasn't played every single day religiously, and I know he's had a hand issue, but he came off the bench yesterday and stole 2 more bases, showing you that if you are in those head-to-head category leagues, Chandler Simpson is a very, very useful piece. I want to talk about Jordan Walker, though, because he has not been useful this year. He is down to 147, 193, 225, 2 homers, 13 ribbies, 1 steal over 30 games. He was benched yesterday. So, Welsh, here we find ourselves. The Cardinals are playing well. Alec Burleson's getting hot, so playing time's going to him. What do we do with Jordan Walker? I assume everyone's just cutting him in redraft leagues and you're just kind of moving on for other pieces. But I want to take this a step further for those people who are in dynasty leagues right now, because Jordan Walker is a piece that you've been sitting on and being patient with. Are you at a point where you just sell him for pennies on the dollar and move on completely if somebody sees him as a potential buy low? Because I feel like we've done 3 years of buy low on Jordan Walker, and I don't know if we have a 4th in me.
Yeah, I mean, that my immediate reaction when you said this was like, why are we doing this again? We did this with redraft, but dynasty is interesting.
Yeah, but now I want to know about the dynasty, because I feel like that's now where people start to look at it and go, like, redraft is easy. You move on. But in dynasty, this is tough because he's still not very old. And, they did kind of jerk him around a little bit between the majors, between the minors. They made him move positions. But at a certain point, I think you have to just call it like you see it, which is he has not performed. He looks worse than ever almost.
But the only thing with dynasty, when you say like, why would you sell him for pennies on the dollar? Would you cut him? Like if you have like an 8 keeper league, he's easily cuttable. There are other guys I would rather take shots on and risks with for sure. If you're in a full on dynasty where you keep everybody, I just don't know what the advantage is to, like, who is trying to buy him.
Sell him for rookie draft picks next year?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if you could get a 2nd round first year player draft pick, but I don't even think you could at this point. So the answer is like, yes, the general sense. I'm done. I'm done with Jordan Walker. I don't think it makes a ton of sense to do it for nothing. Jordan Walker feels like he's 3 years away from playing with the White Sox. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be one of those guys where, the White Sox every year, they just bring out these random dudes. It's like, here's Miguel Vargas and here's Bobby Dahlbeck and here's Travis Jankowski, and it'll just be 2 or 3 years from now, here's Jordan Walker, he's a White Sox. I don't know if it's ever going to bounce back. Completely wrong about him. The strikeouts got worse. The batting changes didn't matter. So the answer is, a general sense, is yes. I don't know if I can be like, I would sell him for pennies on the dollar, sell him for nothing. He is still young. Like, I would like, if I'm competing, I could see dumping him for some older asset that's sitting out there. But
that's the other question I was going to ask you. Like, if you can get somebody that's just an old, like Javier Baez has done nothing for 2 years, right? Somebody's going to give you Baez for him and you're a competing team. I think you take it. And you don't worry about what Jordan Walker is a year or 2 from now.
Definitely in a keeper, in a keeper format, unless you're keeping 15 players. Like, Jordan Walker is not in the discussion, regardless of his age, for like even 10 keepers in a 12-team league. He's not a top 120 keeper in dynasty.
Matt on the mound. Good morning, Welsh and Joey P. Who would you want rest of season, Friedel or Jordan Beck?
I think I'm gonna lean Beck. I want to just take a look here real quick. 264, 8 homers, 5 stolen bases. Yeah, he's been kind of popping off. He's barreling great. Yeah, the hitting profile just looks so good. He's also got Colorado as like a lock-in, and there's no worry about like Zach Bean and stuff. I'm gonna go with Beck.
All right, this is from the "What the hell are we doing here" Pirates category, which I feel like is becoming a daily segment. O'Neal Cruz not in the lineup Monday. He took a seat after going 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts over the weekend. Now, he had a 5-game absence due to the lower back. You think this is just the lower back continuing to bother him, or do you think he's just, from missing a couple days, out of timing? What's going on here with O'Neal Cruz? And is that a situation we should be buying into? Is there a buy window here for Cruz because of the back and the performance in the last week and a half?
That's interesting. I hadn't noticed his average had dipped so far that it did down to 223, because the counting stats are loud. 8 homers, 16 stolen bases. He's still near the tippy top of the stolen base market. 349 OBP. Like, that's fantastic. He's got some career highs, and he's got some like top end of the league. I mean, he is even though he's hitting 223, 60.5% hard hit percentage with a 22% barrel rate. That's music to my ears. That's love. Barreling like crazy. His strikeouts are really bad, but he's walking. But this is that thing right here. 246 expected batting average. So you got to 20 to 25 point jump in his expected batting average. That gets me relatively excited. I do think there's some worrisome signs. He's not pulling the ball as much. His zone contact is down. But, I mean, you look here, hitting 233 against four-seam fastballs, but an expected 335. He's still a monster of four-seam fastball hitting. So I think he's going to bounce back a bit. I'm a buy on Oneil Cruz if people are selling out, thinking they're worried with the back. But that'd be the only issue, Joey. Like, that lingering back is out there. They're having him sit games.
Right. Does he end up going in the IL?
Yeah, just put him on the damn IL right now and let me go trade for him so we know he can get right after. But yeah, I really like Oneil Cruz as a buy right now.
50-50 on the poll for the Bubic Sandy Alcantara. So that is a tough one, man. Smoked your hog has a question. I did answer this. So I already
thank you for reading out his full name.
Well, this is what we do here on the show. They want to see what you think, though. I already gave my answer. I think it was on Twitter. I answered this one. Brian Reynolds got dropped. Do I drop Nimmo, Abreu, Robert Dominguez, or Riley Greenwald? Riley Green, that's ridiculous. But anyway, that was not, I don't think, the original question I was asked. But who would you drop, if any, for Brian Reynolds from this group? I know my answer. I'll see if it's the same as yours.
Well, I mean, the answer is probably Dominguez. But I gotta be honest, I'm not sure I would drop anybody at this moment. Like, if you said, I bet you said Abreu. I'm not dropping.
No,
Abreu.
I said Nimmo, actually.
Let me look at where Nimmo is at.
I thought Nimmo was the guy where it's like, look, Brian Reynolds' best normal plateau season is above what Brandon Nimmo gives you.
Well, they can be similar.
To see what he could be. Abreu's been pretty decent. Robert, again, I'm looking for upside there.
Yeah, you know what? More now that I'm looking at it, I actually do agree with you. The 220 average is down.
Nice. I weakened you. I dragged you down to my level to give.
Well, he's also not stealing any bases too.
No,
and I think Reynolds will. I think he can outperform him rest of season. So yeah, no, Nimmo for Reynolds would be the move.
Jordan Alvarez says his hand is getting better, but it's still sore when he swings. Ugh, that's not good. But Hunter Green's groin is getting right, and he's going to be activated on Friday. That's good news. The Phillies made a transaction. Mick Abel gets sent down to AAA again. Wah, wah. We knew that was going to happen. Let's get to rookie lookie, because yesterday Matt Shaw came back for the Cubbies. 2 for 4 with a Ribby, a double, and that's good news for the Cubs lineup. Welsh, I love this. Any takeaways from Matt Shaw's performance yesterday?
It's huge, and I mean, not that we all kind of knew this was going to happen, but it said it's bad for Moises Ballesteros. Ian Happ is being activated from the IL, and Moises Ballesteros was optioned, unfortunately. So this was their commitment. Maybe also, I mean, there's a lot of different factors here. You played Michael Busch at third. You saw Matt Shaw was up, and it's just not time for Moises Ballesteros. And this is the lineup construction that they really like. And I think this is great. I mean, Matt Shaw had a phenomenal counting stat minor league season last year. He can run. He can hit for power. Love to see him move up in the lineup. Love for him to get kind of consistent, and love for him to not do the Jackson Holiday last year, which is like, you're up, then you're down, and then you come back up, and then you stink again, and you're down. So let's hope there's consistency, but you should definitely pick up Matt Shaw if he's still floating out there.
Speaking of stinking, the Orioles have one more win than the White Sox this year, just for perspective. Someone said that to me this morning, and I went, what?
Did you confirm that? Is that true?
Yeah, look at the standings right now.
They
have 15 wins. The White Sox have 14. I mean, there's your perspective of just how bad. I don't think any of us, non-Baltimore Oriole fans necessarily are obsessing about the win total of the Orioles, but that's just perspective for you that goes a long way. Chief Nakahoma, shallow league, Strider coming back. Who am I dropping? Robert, Matt McClain, Peralta. Well, not dropping Peralta. You're not dropping Robert. Nootbaar or McClain are the other two options. Ever since they dropped McClain in the order, he started to hit again. So I don't know if I want to do that. I think Nootbaar is the easiest to replace. Welsh, what do you think?
I mean, McClain is just still stinks. Like, he's hitting 179. I guess he has
the last week, though, when they dropped him down to order, I think to 8 or whatever, all of a sudden he just started.
Well, he has 2 hits in his last 4 games right now, and he's still sub everything. There's loud counting. I think Nootbaar is just more consistent. It maybe positional stuff can make that move for you.
Too. McClain does have some stolen bases in there too.
Yeah, but he doesn't get on base. Like, you got to get on base to steal. Yeah, exactly. So I'm fine if you keep. I think McClain, like, Nootbaar is performing better, but McClain is the better upside fantasy play. Cut one of them based on your positional needs. I think McClain is like the weakest link of that group, though.
Cody in Anaheim, if you have to trade one third baseman away, would it be Caminero or Vientos? I have both these guys in my home league. It's driving me crazy this year. We're going to talk about Vientos later in the program too, because we could just talk about it now. He was in one of the downs where he's basically sacrificing power, trying to hit for more average, and I hate that he's doing it because I just think it's not the best version of him. My answer would be Vientos because I still think Caminero is the superior prospect or piece, talent wise, upside wise. But if Caminero brings you back more, I still think Vientos can get you by. But what do you think, Walsh?
That's the problem right there. I would clearly say Vientos is the one I want out, but I think this might be a huge differential in what you can get back. I think Caminero's name value gives you 2 tiers higher of the player that you can get back. The problem is I think they're going to go in opposite directions. Shout out to that one guy. I'm so sorry I forced you to draft Junior Caminero, and I hope your team is okay. But I think Caminero's I think he's gonna bounce back. He's got a 261 expected batting average. I think we're gonna start re-clicking. Strikeouts are still low. I think there's a little bit of bad luck in there, but I just think they're gonna separate in value. So here's my problem: you get more for Caminero, but I think he could still be a top 6 or 7 third baseman rest of season. I'm not sure Vientos is going to be. So I would try to move Vientos, but I don't know what you can get for him.
Back to the rookie lookie. Who else is picking things up? Cam Smith over his last 7 games hitting .391, 9 for 23, 3 RBIs, 2 for 4 yesterday. Somebody dropped him. Maybe this is the time to pick him up. Jordan Lawler not in the lineup again. He started only twice in 7 games. Welsh, I feel like I've been lied to. I think management has lied to me, and this was my nightmare. And I said it when they called him up. We talked about it on the waiver wire show. I think it was just last week, and I said I don't want to spend all my fab on a guy who's going to play 4 days a week because I don't believe that they're going to play him 4 days a week.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's Torey Lovello just is a super frustrating person. Yeah, well, he's an absolute liar. He doesn't know what to do with the bullpen. He literally makes only the wrong decision. And the Jordan Lawler stuff, it's like, you didn't want to stunt his growth, but it's amazing. This is a rookie with less than 50 at bats that debuted 3 years ago. He debuted in 2023, and he still has 100 at bats to go, or whatever the hell it is, until he has his rookie eligibility gone. You are going to stunt the growth. He was incredible. I guess I wanted you to bring him up and so he could play. And I guess I would have complained if you didn't, but you're just bringing him up and doing nothing with him. But this was the warning. I think both of us had said, I definitely said, was as excited as I am, and it's great that he's here, I'm cautiously about him right now because he's going to hit lower in the lineup. 4 to 5. We have to see them play him 4 to 5 days, which he ain't. And he's hitting low in the lineup. So it's just no big asset should have been dropped for Jordan Lawler. And at this point, I wouldn't blame you if you drop him down. And you don't need to hold on to him until Lovello starts to change something, which he ain't. He ain't changing nothing.
No, just for fantasy purposes, we were lied to. That's the end of the Hayden Birdsong is going to start today, so we'll get a sense of him. Hopefully good things. Tomorrow we'll report back. And shout out to Concerned Doctor who subbed with Prime. Remember, you can use your Prime account to sub here, and you can avoid all those stinky ads on Twitch and hang out with us every single day talking baseball. 3 up and 3 down. Sonny Gray. Well, Seth, our producers. Cardinals looking good there. 10 strikeouts. Unbelievable. How about those Cardinals? William Contreras went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 ribbies, and a walk, and a steal for good measure. And Julio Rodriguez, his second career grand slam. It was an 8th inning, 5-1 victory over the White Sox. The downs, Kiner Montero, 5 runs and 5 2/3. Dean Creamer, well, he just keeps on Dean Creaming all over the place. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 5 1/3. And then Mark Vientos, again, 0 for 4 against the Red Sox. Also in that game, too, we're starting to get the Juan Soto not hustling enough stuff. That's happening. Who cares? I mean, he's not hustling out ground balls. I mean, all the stars do this. Let's not overrate this, all right? And then yesterday, he hit a ball off the wall. He thought it was a home run. Everybody thought it was a home run. He only got a single. And then he stole second because he realized he was wrong for not hustling.
Yeah,
Please,
I will
shut up about it, everybody. Nobody cares.
No, I mean, I'm good with that. I can't stand when players aren't going to play into hustle. But I will say this. I don't think I've ever had this before. I had this moment where they were interviewing, was it Mendoza they were interviewing?
Yes. Yeah, the Mets manager.
And he was talking, and they're like, oh, hey, Soto didn't hustle out, and blah, 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 blah. Do you think it's something we got to talk about? And he's like, yeah, we'll talk about it. And I've never had this before, but I had this moment where it's like, Juan Soto's not going to listen to you. The guy has all the money. You have paid him so much money. He is more important than every asset and every piece in that entire organization. If he wanted to, you could have a full-on just chaotic moment where that guy doesn't need to listen to anything. He's not playing for anything new anymore except for his legacy. And you got to hope that these players care about their legacy in the game. But I don't know. It was just this weird, like, I'm like, he could probably one ear out the other.
Mendoza's very popular in that clubhouse, though. You know, like some managers are not really well liked. He is beloved by those guys. And I know Soto's new, so it's still a work in progress. I think the conversation is like, hey, it's a bad look. You know what I'm saying? And he goes, yeah, I got it, coach. Like, I think that's the conversation. And the fact that I think he recognized it and went out and stole the base, it was like, hey, this should have been a double. My bad, everybody. And, look, Juan Soto is still young, but he's getting a little older. Now, Welsh, do you have an activity plan for today while I talk to the people about Kyzatrex? Or
yeah, sure. I have this
you can
really
even
great
pantomime one
FantasyPros lamp that you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just turn it on.
You should make s'mores. That's what you should do. You should pantomime making s'mores with your family and maybe playing the guitar by the campfire, because as we all know, sometimes you might feel a little off. Fatigue lingers and recovery takes longer, and your performance isn't where it used to be. These are some of the signs of low testosterone, a condition affecting about 30% of adult men in America. And Kyzatrex, an FDA-approved testosterone replacement therapy designed for men like you. It's not an injection, it's not a gel, it's just a twice daily pill that fits seamlessly into your active lifestyle, helping restore your testosterone to optimal levels. Know your T-score today and get tested by visiting Kyzatrex.com/testing kit. That's KYZATREX.com/testing kit. By prescription only. Kyzatrex is a controlled substance and it can be the target of abuse. Kyzatrex is not for use in pregnant women or men with prostate or breast cancer. Safety and efficacy in those younger than 18 is not known. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions and medications. Serious side effects could include increased blood pressure, worsening prostate symptoms, increased risk of prostate cancer, blood clots in the legs or lungs, decreased sperm count, liver problems, enlarged or painful breasts, breathing problems while you sleep. Common side effects include swelling of the ankles, feet, or body, increased red blood cell count, or increase in PSA levels, prostate-specific antigens. PSA is a test used to detect prostate cancer. Report those symptoms to your doctor and call your doctor to learn more about Kyzatrex. For questions or more information, visit Kyzatrex.com or call 1-833-949-5040. We need to call that number, by the way.
On air?
Yes. Can we do that? Do we have the technology? It's funny. We have so much technology. Do we have enough technology to make a phone call here, like on the show? I just have to do it on my phone, I guess. I don't know.
Probably just do that. What are you going to call and ask?
I just want to know about the side effects. Oh, you know what? The free swag. Do they have some free, maybe some shirts they can give us?
I would love to wear a Kyzatrex shirt.
You said you need more hats because
always
the dogs
need hats.
Your new hats.
Yeah, dog.
So there you go. All right. Closers are getting eaten in Chicago. How's that for a transition? Porter Hodge is heading to the IL. He's got an oblique issue. We all know what that means. I'll see you for a couple months, buddy. Presley or Pomeranz? Well, that's the question now.
Well, I think they went to, was it Palencia or whatever?
Yeah, but I think that was just I don't think that's. You think that's it?
No, I think Pomeranz might get the next run. Yeah, he might get the next run because they really lost faith. I think Presley makes more sense, but I think it might be Pomeranz.
It's amazing. It feels like I'm trying to remember what year Drew Pomeranz came up. Like he was in that grouping of prospects, and there was like a bunch of those guys, and none of them panned out. I feel like.
What was his original team? Was it the Padres?
Padres. Oh, definitely the Padres. 100% Drew Pomeranz and the Padres. Ian Happ expected to return some point this week, as we already know from Welsh. We talked about that. Imanaga is also scheduled for the Cubs to resume throwing. So lots of injury news there from the Cubbies. AJ Puck and Eduardo Rodriguez both resumed throwing for the Diamondbacks, so we'll keep an updated eye on that. Ha-Seong Kim is going to be in a rehab assignment. Where does he fit in here for the Rays?
In their lineup on the field.
Where?
Hitting.
Who's he knocking out?
Well, I mean, who they I'm not thinking of their roster right now. I mean, he's going to most likely play short or second. So, I mean, he's going to go somewhere into the middle infield. You have to give me, so we
got Brandon Lau at second. We got Caballero at shortstop, and we got Junior Caminero. I assume Caballero is not an everyday player when Kim comes back? Or
yeah, but also
Kim plays a little more outfield too, because you got Simpson, Meisner, and Josh Lowe. So I mean, I just don't know where he plays.
Oh, I think he could DH a little bit, and he plays short. I think that's what it. And then I think Caballero becomes like their super util type of player.
So then
But
Aranda loses at bats.
well, I mean, yeah, that's where it gets.
That's what I
really
mean. Like I'm looking
wonky,
at it,
yeah.
and I know people are saying, "Do I pick him up?" And I'm thinking, I think I'd rather have. Okay, the fantasy nerd says, "Well, he's a better hitter than Caballero," but is that the way the Rays are thinking? That's the
But
question.
also, they like to platoon Aranda, so I think you could have. Or I think Aranda can stay in his strong side platoon, and then Kim could maybe a little bit play on the short side, and then he would go at short. I'm just not sure Kim or Caballero is going to hold off Hassan Kim. I don't think so.
Tigers put Reese Olson on the IL with a right finger inflammation, so that stinks. Justin Verlander is dealing with a pectoral discomfort, so I don't know. Too many bench presses, getting swole. Not sure what's going on
Remember,
there.
Kyzatrex tender.
There you go. He's in his 40s. Verlander. I mean, Scherzer, God, he should have had the Kyzatrex to start the year.
By the way, you want to know, yesterday I went over to the Surprise Stadium over by me, and you know who I saw and got to meet was Rich Hill.
Oh, Rich Hill.
Rich Hill is down there. He was actually watching the game. If everyone knows, he signed with the Royals, and everyone's making a big deal. It'd be the 15th team he's played for. But he was sitting out there watching the game. And funny enough, Jaden Fielder was playing. That's Prince Fielder's kid. So you have 3 generations, the third generation
Cecil's
Fielder.
grandson, excuse me.
Rich Hill is the one of only 2 major league players that is still older than me. So I was very, very excited to see and be, I'm like the kid. I'm like a little baby kid in front of a finally older major leaguer, but he was just chilling. He wasn't doing anything yet. So I don't know what his plan is to play, but him and Verlander, the only older guys.
I'm always whimsical about Rich Hill because Rich Hill's rookie season when he came up for the Cubs, him and a young rookie Cole Hamels led me to a fantasy championship that year. I want to say it was 2005. I could go look. Was Rich Hill's rookie year 2005? I want to say it was 2005. It was Rich Hill, Cole Hamels coming up.
You want to know what'd be crazy about that?
Me to fantasy glory.
He would have been 20. He would have been 25 at that time. He's 45 years old, so he would have been 25. So it might be before. Did Rich Hill debut before 2000?
I don't know. We need a Rich Hill.
Do I need to
statistical update? We're all run to the Google machine, how fast as we can, and see when did he.
I'm a pretty fast typer. All right, I got it.
2005, nailed it.
Yeah, with the Cubs, 2005. So he had 20 years of major league, and he got 25 years old.
I think I'm misremembering. I think it was the 2000 and maybe it was the.
Who do you think he was
season,
with?
Though. No, it was the 2006 season that he came up and was good though, because obviously 2005 he was not good.
He wasn't very good in 2006. 2006. I know.
No, he had a really good run at the end of the season.
Okay, because he had a 4.17 ERA, only 6 wins in 2006.
Well, I can tell you because when was Cole Hamels?
2007, he had a 3.92 ERA with 11 wins, and he pitched 195 innings.
It was 2006 because I remember it was him and Hamels, and I had both of them, and I picked them up off the waiver wire, and I was so proud of myself. Still very early in the fantasy, universe for me. I think I started playing in 98. It was my first fantasy league, but 2006, that was a big championship I won. There's a lot of money on the line in that one, so I'm happy to see him out there making money for himself. Casey Mize, hamstring through 5-inning simulated game on Monday. And Mike Trout is now running on the field, everybody. No more hyperbaric chamber running. That's good news. Also good news, we have returning Spencer Strider, which brings us to today's best bets
of the day.
With Joey P and the Welsh. Spencer Strider, little tiny baby number. I know he hasn't pitched in a while, but 5.5, I'll take it. I got all strikeouts today. That's where I'm going. 5.5 strikeouts. Let's go over -110. Dylan Cease, another small strikeout number for him, -106, 5.5. Let's go over against Toronto. Strider gets the Nats. Cease gets the Blue Jays. And Logan Henderson also at 5.5, -116 against the Baltimore Orioles, the team that's won 15 games all year. And Logan Henderson's going out there and showed you he ain't intimidated. And I think the Orioles are sputtering right now. So I got 3 K props, all overs, 5.5 strikeouts. You know what, Welsh? I'm going to have to parlay them together while you give your best bets of the day. I'm going to do that right now and see what kind of money I can lose tonight.
That'll probably be a good like 5 or 6 to 1. I almost joined you in just going all the sames. I've got 2 nerfies for you. We haven't nerfied a whole bunch lately. Our last one we did hit, but we've got 2 today. They could be dicey, but it's all about the pitching matchup, avoiding the offense. Atlanta, Washington, Strider, as you mentioned, you got the K's, Strider and Mitchell Parker going down. Atlanta Braves offense, especially at the top. Parker a little bit better early on in games. So I'm going to go with no run first inning, Braves and Nationals -125. I'm also going to San Diego, Toronto. San Diego is scary, but Chris Bassett has also been scary. You've got Bassett versus Cease. I think the pitching matchups are going to lock down, especially early on. So -125. And then avoiding a third nerfy, Cincinnati first 5 money line. We are taking Nick Martinez, who's been pretty solid. Pittsburgh has not. Pittsburgh has just kind of been a disaster. So Nick Martinez, we're backing him through the first 5 innings on the money line, push or win. That's the play. I think I was 2-0-1 yesterday or something like that. So let's extend it on to a little bit of risk with those nerfies and a money line. What's your parlay? Let me guess. Is it 5.5 to 1?
6 to 1, almost 7 to 1,
Okay.
681. Because 2 of them are plus money right now. I love it. I love it. Let's go. I want to do it. I'm gonna do it.
We'll do it.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You can do it with FanDuel if you want. You can use the code.
And you know what? I mean, I'm not a new customer, but new customers can bet $5 and win $250 if that first bet hits. FantasyPros.com/leading off. That's the offer. Go get it today. Also, while you're at it, download the Betting Pros app. Start betting smarter, not harder. And when you use the promo code leading off there, you get a 7-day free trial of the premium Betting Pros tools. That means the MLB prop bet cheat sheet, the betting systems, the same game parlay builder, so you can build your 5.5K parlay along with me, sharp AI, and so much more. Let's take a look, shall we, at the home run board and see what that bad boy looks like. Oh, Welsh got his highlight back, but now he's moved to column number 2. Wonky Penguin at 18, keeping it real for the Fantasy Pros lifers here. Marty at the top with 20. Then we've got George and far out at 19. Wonky coming for that Sammy Sosa jersey, though. She's motivated. Now, I can't remember. She is a Cubs fan, right? Not a Twins fan.
Yes,
she's a Cubs fan, but she's a
right.
Vikings fan. There's like a weirdness there.
By the way, I like Alternator, who has 15 full Valvoline gas on the name. So not just 15, but 15.
Should have been a J. Yes.
It should have been a J. It was a J.
Wonky is a Cubs fan. So Wonky, Sammy Sosa, love him, hate him. That's what I want to know, Wonky. Drop it in the chat here. Where do you stand there?
Look, I'm Joe.
Cubs, Vikings, T-Wolves, and Oilers. The Oilers in there too. The Oilers, I understand. If you grew up with Gretzky and Messier back in the day, that I understand. But it's weird that she went Vikings, T-Wolves, but then Cubs and not Twins. That's the weird one there. So.
That seems like very defiant. You're being defiant against somebody.
Well, I'm not defiant. Again, Sammy Sosa jersey.
Well, no, Brewers. You're just being defiant.
Oh, she's being defiant.
Yeah. I'm saying I'm going to go for the others.
All right, so Nick Castellanos did not hit a home run yesterday, so I'm sticking with the Phillies anyway. Bryce Harper, plus 390. He's got 2 homers and 1,000 OPS against Sensatella. How annoying was it yesterday that all those numbers yesterday against Freeland are so good, and Freeland up pitching very well against the Phillies. Then he leaves the game and then implodes on him. Schwarber goes yard. Just classic baseball betting. Like, you just can't get around it. So give me Bryce Harper today. Where are you going for your home run call?
I'm going to go Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso, get me back on the board. It's been a little minute. I think it's been about a week since I've gotten on the board. So Pete Alonso is my home run call of the day.
So she got WGN as a kid growing up in Iowa. That's why. So I remember in Pennsylvania, you can get WGN too. We used to watch the Cubs games in central Pennsylvania.
It's a good point. I remember, what was it? WGN for the Cubs, and then Turner, whatever it was, for the Braves. They were always on. So
yeah. Oh, 11 days till Schwarberfest. We're just going to make it Schwarberfest June 1st because I haven't heard anything from the Wawa yet. And until it's Wawa official, it's not really official, but I don't care. June is Schwarberfest, although he's been terrific. Pete Alonso needs to start throwing the ball to the right direction, though, because this is now a couple games. This is 2 in a row now where Pete Alonso has got the yips throwing the baseball.
Just hit the ball. I don't need him to throw it. I need him to hit it.
I know, but I need him to throw the baseball. That's what I need him to do. And I need all of you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop your comments. You might win yourself a Jose Ramirez autographed jersey when you do from Pristine Auction. Again, that's the giveaway this month. So you only got 11 days till Schwarberfest and 11 days to win the Jose Ramirez jersey. Drop your comments, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell till it goes ding. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your day of baseball. Rich Hill's old, and so are you.
He looked really old. Not to be mean, but like he
Was he
looked
reading
really
an
old.
AARP magazine in the dugout?
Sitting on something in my back. He did not look like a pitcher.
Was he
Coming
reading a
soon.
real map?